I've had some people ask me how to make granular synths in Renoise. I'm pretty sure I saw someone else do this first. So if I'm ripping off someone else's style, then forgive me. But um, so here's what I did. I have 4 different samples up here. I already recorded the process, but I'm just doing a voiceover after the fact. So hopefully I explain it pretty well. So let's get started with that. Here I have a sample of a China cymbal. And so what I'm going to do is just fill in every single spot with that China cymbal. It's a lot better to make it longer than however long this is a few seconds. But right here, I'm shortening the waveform to focus on the sound that I want, because we don't want that impact sound and we don't want the trail off sound, so we're just going to shorten it. So now you can see it's just playing at the beginning a little too much. So we're going to start inserting slices, and I'm trying to kind of randomize it, but all I'm doing is keyboard mashing here, just to kind of roughly chop up where it's starting. And I do both digits in the slice command. And I'm also, since it's in hex, I'm going to go ahead and just throw in some numbers that are greater than the 90s. So it's a little mixed up now. It's a little more randomized, but there's an issue. It needs to trail. Each of these notes need to kind of trail off for a while. So we're going to add an attack and a release for each of these notes. A bit smoother. Still kind of choppy though. Let's make there be twice as many notes per second. A little smoother. I'm going to add a chorus. Give it a little bit more. Nah, how about a flanger? Give it a little more detail. Make it a little smoother sounding, I think. You can also add filters and stuff. I think a low pass, high pass, band pass, all that stuff can really come in handy here. Oh, well, the release isn't going to change much. The sample's not more than half a second. Add some reverb to it. Might give it a little more flavor. Yeah, I like the little touch with the collar on the reverb. So we can render that. And it would probably work better to make it a lot longer than a couple seconds, but let me put it in here. You can stretch it out too. I'm going to turn the volume up. This sounds pretty cool. This is more of like a white noise sound. You can't really make... It doesn't sound that interesting when it's polyphonic. But you can still get some cool sounds out of it. Let's stretch it using the texture. Pretty cool. That's cool. So you could definitely use this as a drone or a background or something in some of your music. So now let's replace it. Let's replace the China cymbal with this little splash. Oh, let me fix that. Now it's the splash cymbal, but there's a lot of silence, so we need to shorten the waveform to the good part. Still a little too much impact. It'll probably be okay. Again, attack and release, the most important part of all this. Let's copy the flanger and reverb over. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Render that. Oh, damn. Okay, let's put that in here and see what that sounds like. Cool, still a little warbly, I think. So if we smooth it, stretch it a little. Oh, it's cool when it's pitched down. That sounds a lot better, I think. Do some cool sounds with that. Okay, now that's a guitar. Let's do it with the guitar. Yeah, very choppy and warbly. So again, let's focus on the good spot. And attack and release. It's good to make the attack pretty short because all these notes only are like 20 milliseconds apart. So we should try to keep the attack pretty brief, but the release is long as it sounds good. It's a little clicky. So let's put a filter on it. There we go. That fixes the clicking. Band pass. That's cool. It has like some ringing sound going on too. Some reverb. We can probably accentuate that a little. Add some width. Why not? That's a cool, creepy little sound. That's just from a single note from a guitar. A little bit of flanger. Oh. So we can render that one. Let's put that in here. Oh, I should have probably turned the volume down a little bit, but oh well. I mean, you kind of play with this, kind of figure out what works. It's a little noisy. You can loop it, you can stretch it. That kind of helps. Oh, the repitch. Sounds pretty good. Definitely needs to be a little smoother in the volume. I have a compressor on the master channel to add 10 decibels because it's really quiet. So you probably wouldn't want to add a compressor maximizer into the actual effects. I'm just doing this to make it easier to demonstrate. Sounds so good pitched down. And that's good polyphonic too. Very interesting chords. That's another guitar recording. It's a power chord. Yeah, let's go with this note. So swap the instruments again. And pitch it down. Why not? Again, chopping and warbling until you add that attack and release. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter the release if it's... But no. Oh. Let's stretch it out before we turn it into a synth. That smooths it quite a lot. Even more so, the more you stretch it. A little reverb might help. Get some color. Oh, that sounds cool. Go a little wet, a little dry. Yeah, I like the way that sounds. Oh yeah, it's a little noisy with that compressor in the master. Okay. Yeah, that sounds really cool. Rendering that. Let's throw it in here. You can loop it here too. Loops pretty good from the end. Try to just make it a little smoother. Oh. That's not too bad. Pops when you start it, but that can be fixed. Some really cool sounds out of that too. So yeah, that's how I made a few granular synths really quick in Renoise. I've had a lot of fun doing this before. There are a lot of different things you can do with that. Feel free to get creative.